Kia ora, good morning everyone, Windshield here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at a new microphone from Rode. It is the Rode Wireless Micro. This is the company's latest wireless microphone and is also the smallest wireless microphone that Rode has ever created. Look at how small it is. The target user of this microphone are smartphone video creators. One of the key features is very simple to use. The price is also very affordable at US $149 for the whole kit with 2 microphones. So in this review, I will share with you all my real-world experience and all the pros and cons I found when I was using this microphone. Before we start, I want to mention the sample I used in this review was sent to me by Rode. I do not have to return the sample after this review. I just want to make sure this is clear before we start. So this is the carry case or the charging case for the Rode Wireless Micro. It is one of the smallest charging cases that I have ever seen for a wireless microphone set. Very easy to carry around. I can even just put it in my jean pocket very easily. There isn't any buttons or switches, just a USB-C connector at the back for you to charge the battery. Inside the case, we have 1 receiver and 2 wireless microphones. The receiver and the microphones feel solid and don't have any cheap plasticky feeling. The receiver is powered by your smartphone once you plug it in, so it doesn't have any built-in battery. There are 2 versions of the Rode Wireless Micro. One has the Lightning connector and the other one has the USB-C connector. Now, while the Rode Wireless Micro is primarily designed to use with smartphones, the USB-C version can actually be used with any devices that can accept standard USB microphone. I have tested with the Candle Coolcam 3 Ultra, which is a 360 camera, and also my MacBook Pro. It works fine with both of them. Actually, the audio you are listening to right now is recorded using the Rode Wireless Micro with the receiver plugged into my MacBook Pro and audio recorded from my MacBook Pro. So the USB-C version is definitely the more flexible version. But if you're using an Apple device with the Lightning connector, then you do have to get the Lightning version because unlike some other microphones that you can change the connector on the receiver, the connector on the Rode Wireless Micro's receiver is fixed. The Rode Wireless Micro is available in either black or white color. The sample I got is black. It looks nice and is more understated. But looking at the photo of the white version, it also looks very nice as well. So if you usually wear white t-shirt or some very light color clothes, the white version would probably be the better choice because the microphone would not stand out so much against your light color clothes. The receiver is powered by your smartphone, so it doesn't have any built-in battery. On the other hand, the wireless microphone does have a built-in battery. I don't know the exact capacity of the battery, but according to Rode, the microphone can last up to 7 hours by itself, and the charging case, which has a 490 mAh battery, can recharge the microphone up to 2 times. So the total runtime is up to 21 hours. I think it's not bad considering how small this microphone is. The Rode Wireless Micro comes with a USB-C charging cable and 2 windshields that you can clip onto the microphone to reduce wind noise. We will do some outdoor audio tests a little bit later on in this review to see how effective the windshield is. But I can tell you one thing first, it is very easy to attach the windshield onto the microphone. It's so much better than the Holyland Lark M2 that I reviewed a couple of months ago. The Holyland is a very nice microphone, but the windshield is just incredibly hard to install. This Rode microphone is just so much easier in this area. But while I like how easy it is to attach the windshield onto the microphone, what I don't like is that the charging case doesn't have any space for you to store the windshields. No matter you have the windshield installed onto the microphone or not, you just cannot store the windshield inside the charging case. It also means every time after you finish your recording, you have to remove the windshield from the microphone before you can place the microphone back into the charging case. So yes, while it's true that the charging case is very compact, but I personally would really rather prefer if the charging case is a little bit bigger so it can store the windshield as well. Now, to be fair, this is not unique to the Rode wireless micro. A lot of the compact wireless microphones that I have tested recently all have this same issue. Anyway, let's talk about the wireless microphone a little bit more. The size of the microphone is very small and the design is really simple. There are no buttons, switches or any input jack on the microphone at all. It just has the metal connector at the bottom for recharging, a small LED light on the side, and then just a clip at the back for you to attach the microphone onto your shirt. There's also a magnet for the clip, so you can use the magnet instead. And that's all for the microphone. The receiver is pretty much the same. It just has two LED lights and then the connector. That's it. Both the microphone and the receiver are very lightweight. The microphone is just 12 grams without the magnet or 18 grams with the magnet. The receiver is just 6 grams. So you don't really feel the weight when you're using it. Setting up and using this Rode wireless micro is very easy. You just need to remove the receiver from the charging case, plug it directly onto your phone, then take the microphone out from the charging case, and that's all you need to do. You don't need to use any cable or do any manual pairing. Since there isn't any buttons or switches on the receiver and the microphone, there is really no settings that you need to change. And there are pros and cons with this design. The pros is that you can just very easily use this microphone without having to worry about what settings that you should choose, or maybe you haven't chosen the correct settings. This is especially great for casual or beginner users. You don't even need to set the audio gain level, which is one thing that you usually have to do with pretty much any other microphone. It's because the Rode wireless micro can automatically adjust the audio level for you using its intelligent gain assist technology, which means it should allow you to record audio, not having to worry too much about setting the audio level to the correct setting every time before you start recording. Could be a big advantage for its target users. So what about the downsides? If you are someone who want to fiddle with settings yourself, or you want to have more manual control like playing with the EQ or having high pass or low pass filter, etc., then there really isn't much that you can do with the Rode wireless micro. The only thing that you can do is using the smartphone app Rode Central to adjust some of the settings. But there are really only a few, as you can see on this screenshot. The most useful one is that you can change the audio routing between merge or split. Merge means both microphones are mixed together as a mono output. If you change it to split, then it will keep the audio from each microphone as a separate channel. This can be useful, for example, if you're shooting interviews and want to adjust the volume of each person's voice separately during editing. But apart from that, there really isn't that many settings that you can adjust. I think it is not bad for its target users, as the auto settings seems to work quite well, but you need to understand this is a trade-off for such a simple and easy to use microphone. Let's quickly go through some of the numbers I got from Rode. The maximum SPL is 135 dB, equivalent noise is 21 dBA, signal to noise ratio is 73 dB. If you don't really know what these numbers mean, don't worry, it just means the audio quality should be very good, and it is very comparable to the other bigger Rode wireless microphones. But numbers are just numbers. Sometimes it doesn't really tell the full story. But the audio in this review is recorded using the Rode wireless micro with no adjustment or any extra audio processing, and I'm going to do a little bit more audio testing in a minute. From the spec sheet, it says the transmission range is over 100 meters. I haven't done any range test this time because for a wireless microphone that is designed to use with smartphone, I really doubt many people would need to place the microphone that is more than 20 or 30 meters away from the smartphone. So 100-meter range should be way more than needed. And I myself definitely have no range issue at all when I was testing this microphone. The only thing that you have to be careful is that you should have a direct line of sight between the microphone and the receiver. This is very important for this type of microphones, especially when you're recording in big outdoor open space with no wall nearby or anything to help bounce the signal back to the receiver. Okay, it's time to do a little bit more audio quality tests. Let's start the audio test by doing a bit of recording here in my studio room. I've just turned off all the studio lights in this room because I want to keep this room as quiet as possible. If I leave the studio lights on, even though they are not very noisy, but you may still be able to hear a little bit of cooling fan noise in the background. So the room is really quiet now. What do you guys think about the audio quality when I'm recording in such a quiet place? And can you hear any background noise? Next, we're going to head out and do some recording outdoor so that you can hear what is the audio quality like when we are recording in an outdoor, more noisy place. I'm now recording the audio using the Rode Wireless Micro Outdoor. Right now, I have not put the windshield on the microphone. And this area, there's a little bit of wind, but it's not too crazy. So hopefully there are not too much wind noise. But later on, I move to another area that is a little bit more exposed, and then I will put the windshield on. So right now, I'm just recording using my iPhone 16 Pro, and I have the receiver plugged in to the iPhone, and just recording using the default camera app. Okay, I've just moved to another outdoor area. Here is a bit more exposed and quite a bit more windy, as you can probably see from the trees behind me. They shake quite a bit more. So I have put the windshield onto the microphone. I found that it's actually pretty easy to put the windshield on. I didn't even have to remove the microphone from myself. I can just easily clip it onto it. So can you guys hear any wind noise, or does the windshield do a decent job removing the wind noise from the audio? So what are my thoughts about this Rode Wireless Micro? I think it is a nice, very easy to use wireless microphone. I love the build quality and the overall design of the microphone. Even though I really like to see an easier way to carry the windshield, as right now I have to carry them separately, which is a bit of pain. Audio quality is decent, it's very clean, noise is minimum level, and the auto gain adjustment seems to work well. The audio volume is always at good level, and I have no issue with clipping. If you are a professional user and wants a microphone with tons of features and settings, this is not the microphone for you. But if you want a small and easy to use microphone for your smartphone, then this Rode Wireless Micro could be a very good choice.